Hello and welcome. My name is Carsten Lutzen. I'm a Scrum Master and Agile Coach. Today I'll talk a bit about daily stand-up or dailies or daily Scrum or whatever we call it. The daily stand-up is in Scrum our mechanism for synchronizing and planning what are we going to do today. And I've seen many different types of stand-up over the years, and I would like to share some of my experiences with what is a good stand-up. From my point of view, the stand-up is where the team plans what are we going to do today, but also looks a bit into what did we do yesterday. And I've seen different types, as I mentioned. One of the things is this one. So people not showing up for stand-up, not even having a stand-up, or maybe only have it every second day or once a week or something like that. I've also seen people having a stand-up which is more just a report given to the Scrum Master so he can then tell the stakeholders of the project that yes, we are tracking and we are doing okay and the burn down looks awesome. I've also seen these ones where people might have a board but they don't really care, they're just talking and this time box of 15 minutes is not used at all, so 20 minutes later people have discussed how the weather is like, what they were doing yesterday and stuff like that. That's of course fine, but it does not belong in a stand-up. The stand-up should be focused on how can we plan this day and how are we most effective today. So I would aim for something in between here, where the team themselves drive the stand-up. I can be there as a Scrum Master and help the team help by facilitating the team's stand-up. But I'm not, in that sense, an active part in the stand-up. Of course, if I have something to share that will impact their work, I'll do it. But I hope that if I walk away, the stand-ups will still continue. So if people are looking at me giving a report, I'll try to use a subtle nudging, which is just look at another person and then hopefully their eyes will shift to that other person, and then I'll move physically so they can't look at me again. And if that doesn't work, I'll just try to stand behind somebody else, and hopefully that will make them look at somebody else. And in that way grow this, that this is not a status to me as a Scrum Master or a product owner if the product owner attends for some reason. This is for the team to synchronize and make sure that the team is on track. If we're in this situation where nobody shows up at stand-up, then it's probably because they have the experience that the stand-ups are not useful, that they don't get any value from the stand-ups. And that is where we need to make sure what are the experience we want them from the stand-up. The experience I want from my teams for stand-up is that they can see the value and the benefit in synchronizing their work, and they can see the value and benefit in how can we help each other achieve this today. Often, traditionally, people are asking 3 questions. What did I do yesterday? What am I going to do today? And is there anything blocking me? I would rather ask something else actually. I would rather make it focused on the sprint goal, so making it goal focused. Asking, what did I do yesterday that helped us achieve our sprint goal? What am I going to do today that will help us achieve our sprint goal? And is there anything blocking me from making sure that we achieve this sprint goal? Because that also highlights if people are doing stuff outside the sprint. If they don't have anything that benefits the team goal, then that's a dysfunctional thing we need to look into, right? And that's really important. But what I can also recommend is change the questions sometimes. It might grow a bit stale, then change the questions. Figure out what questions add value for this team right now, and then help the team to realize that. Another thing that also happens is over here, right, where people are discussing left and right. We might even be in this situation, but then we just start to drift into deep conversations. They might be value adding, but they're probably not needed for the entire team to succeed. What we can do instead, if I as a facilitator don't see this, then we can have a rule, for instance, that if 2 team members raise their hand, then we change the topic. Or we can be super strict about this no discussions. Only the one with the talking stick are allowed to talk. And what works here is if the people want to voice something, I'll note it down remember it or put it on a whiteboard. And then when everybody has gone through and everything is planned, I'll say, oh, by the way, Carsten, you need to check in with Preben regarding this and this, and Peter, you need to check in with John regarding this and this. And making sure that these people are then actually going to have the discussion that they thought were value adding after the stand-up, not during the stand-up. In this way we can pull it from here into here. And again, if this is the case, move around so the team starts to look at each other instead of the Scrum Master. If this is the case, then we have even more work to do. That was it from me this time. I look forward to hear your versions of a stand-up. Do you do the daily plank where you're only allowed to talk while doing the plank, or how do you make a productive and good stand-up? Cool, so hit me with feedback and have a nice day.